Hi friends, hope you're well and having a good week so far. Did you see the Queen's speech on Sunday? On Sunday evening, the Queen addressed the nation in the light of the crisis that we find ourselves in, and basically said, it's okay, I see you, I'm thinking of you, giving her thanks to the key workers and saying we're going to get through this. We will, get through this, we'll see each other again, and everything will be okay. Simple words, but encouraging words. And whatever your view of the monarchy or the royal family, there is something comforting when the nation's grandma, a lady who has served faithfully through generations and has seen a whole lot in her time, says it's okay and we're going to get through this. But something that she said, the Queen said in her speech, stuck out to me, and I'd like to remind us of it and challenge us with it. She said that the times that we're in give all of us an opportunity to slow down, to pause, to reflect, and to pray. And I would just want to encourage you, whatever your circumstance, whether you would consider yourself a believer or not, whether you are a church person or not, the times that we're in make us realise that we don't have all the answers, that we can't do everything. They force us to ask the bigger questions in life and to look beyond ourselves. And so I would want to point us to not just the Queen, but to the King of Kings, who can do all things and is all powerful. Here's what the Bible says in 2 Corinthians chapter 1 from verse 8. A guy called Paul writes these words. He says, "We think you ought to know, dear brothers and sisters, about the trouble we went through in the province of Asia. We were crushed and overwhelmed beyond our ability to endure, and we thought we would never live through it. In fact, we expected to die." And I know that there'll be many people who can identify right now with that sense of feeling crushed and overwhelmed beyond an ability to endure. Even in our own church family, there are healthcare workers who right now are working incredibly hard to keep things going, but are also scared for themselves and their families. In our church family, we have parents who are struggling, juggling work and staying at home and looking after children and being teachers as well as parents, and families who are struggling. I know that in our church there are those who are facing uncertainty and are worried about a considerable drop in income. There are transport workers in our church, and in light of recent news stories, we understand that you are scared right now. And so when Paul writes that, here's how he goes on. We think you ought to know about the trouble we went through. We were crushed, overwhelmed, beyond what we could endure. We thought we'd never live through it. But here's how he goes on. He says, but as a result, we stopped relying on ourselves and learned to rely on God, who raises the dead. And he did rescue us from mortal danger, and he will rescue us again. We have placed our confidence in him, and he will continue to rescue us. Friends, can I encourage you, whatever your circumstance, whatever your fears, to, in this time, learn to rely not on yourself, but on God. Because the same God that saw those people through then, who was present with them, who protected them, provided for them, rescued them, will do the same now. Let me encourage you to turn to him, to trust him. And we'd love to pray for you too. If there's ways that we can pray for you, if there's things that you're facing that you'd like to share with us, why not drop in a comment or get in touch with us, and we'd love to pray for you. Have a great day, and God bless.